Assalamu alaikum, fam. Hope you're doing well. I want to talk to you today about how you can outlast the TikTok demons. And what do I mean by that? I have noticed on this app some of the worst abuses towards men I think that I've ever heard in my life. And I think this app should have been banned by Trump, and I think Trump was right to want to ban this app because I have never heard such mental abuse on men in my life except from these women on TikTok. And they all look the same with like a lot of makeup, a lot of plastic surgery, very long nails. Their ego, their narcissism, their just type of energy is rewarded on that app through followers, and you're like, wow. There's accounts on there that have like 1 million followers, and all those women do is post mean things about men, which makes young women think that the way you get followers is by being mean to men, and that men are your enemy, and that soft men are better, good little slaves, and that masculine, patriarchal, heterosexual men are the enemy, which is completely the opposite. Completely opposite of what society needs. We need good, righteous, pious men. But these women on this app attack other women who defend men. And a lot of men rights activists, women, have complained that these feminists, liberal, atheists, porn stars type chicks on TikTok create so much problems for women who try to defend men. And I think we need to be aware of this because we don't want our daughters, our loved ones, to get affected by this mental illness that is occurring from this TikTok app. The more and more of the abusive nature of the women on TikTok, you begin to see how the men, the Muslim men especially, well, only really, deserve their huris, their women that they get in paradise. Why is that? I think TikTok highlights the ugliness of the human condition concerning women. That app has shown me the most darkest side of women's psychology that actually makes me see that the huri women of paradise are far superior than those women on TikTok. And those women on TikTok kind of deserve to be alone, and they deserve to have a chance also, though, of rectifying their behavior. And hopefully there will be a good masculine brother who is able to counteract the tyrannical feminine energy that she vibrates, that she pushes out into the world, so she can calm down. This is what I think the liberal agenda, the feminist atheist agenda, has turned women into, where they value anal enthusiasts more than the men who facilitate life. If you hate the men that literally that keep women, human beings on earth, this is a very, very scary demonic thing, because to hate straight masculine men of the patriarchy is to hate life itself. How so? Because heterosexual men, they are going to be the ones who have the most righteous energy, because they are the most precious in the sight of Allah. They are the most precious in terms of energy, of courage, valor, willing to die to defend their people. They have a different energy than other orientations. Other orientations may be good at artistic design, making something fashionable in terms of its construction, its archaeology type of footprint. It's sort of, they're more a critical analysis of something, whether it's good or bad. They are good at perceiving something and be like, you should fix that, you should fix this. Critique it on this side. They have a different part of their brain that is kind of more on the feminine spectrum, and they can see something that others can't. So each person has their value inherently on earth. However, the ones that are the most fertile, who have the most potent sperm, the most healthy testosterone, The ones that actually can stimulate the blood of women in order to want to have children are the masculine, righteous, pious men who have a vigor that is unique to them. This is something, it's like comparing a gelding to a stallion stud. Gelding, you take off their testicles, they behave differently. I was raised around dogs. You take off a dog's testicles, they behave differently. And the one who gets to keep his, he behaves differently. So the psychology of a man who is muscular, fit, he does his prayers, he's bearded, he has extreme discipline, his total aura is a pillar, a beacon that good women will flock to, where non-malicious Ishtar type of women will flock to. And this is a healthy energy that is just like, wow, it's like drinking water on a hot day. This is something that is being attacked by those women on TikTok. So I understand how the men are going off now to attack those women, and then good women get caught in the crosshairs of their battle, Like they're having a huge battle for the new order of society. I don't think there's been a time that I know through studying so much history where men have been systematically targeted as much as now, because through TikTok, women are able to transmit their hatred towards men on such a scale that it can affect someone's psychology all the way from China, all the way to Hawaii, all the way to the, Antarctica. If someone's got a cell tower there, wherever you are, you log into that app, you get to see. If you don't have a firewall in your country, but even a VPN can get around that type of meanness towards men. And this should worry women, because we don't want our sons, our brothers, our uncles, our cousins to be victims of this new meanness towards men. This is something very scary. These women are getting so angry, so hateful, so bitter. It's almost like you want to pity them. They have no children, some of them. They're very obsessed with youth. They think they're going to be that hot, mean chick forever, when time is the great equalizer. And that it doesn't matter how much plastic surgery you get, you will age, and your mood's going to change, and new people are born every day, and you're not going to be able to keep up. You don't want to be the sour, lonely, bitter woman and not have your own tribe. And the more frail, soft men, they have their place in maybe a little cubicle telling you how to file your taxes. But if somebody is causing real problems in your neighborhood and you want them to take on the gangs, you're going to need those brave, masculine men. It is amazing how these women, because of their beauty that they've been given temporarily by Allah Azza wa Jal and the plastic surgeons, they have used their beauty as a weapon. And this is something about the tyrannical feminine that it really enlightens you to why, you need balance between the genders, and how you're supposed to watch your daughter concerning men. And we have to help make men better, which is up to men to do, but we have to tell women to stop being this cruel to men. It's quite amazing. I saw one post where a woman has 6 kids. She's pregnant, so she's going to have a 7th, and she's a single mom. And the way she said, I'm not going to kiss you on the 5th day. If you don't know how to fix a car, what do I need you for? Her total meanness, it was amazing to see. It's you have 6 kids, you're not very beautiful, and you're pregnant? Where are the fathers or father of these kids? What is going on? Why do you think you get to talk to men like that when you are a debt beacon? All you are is debt. 7 children. What man is gonna marry a woman with 7 children? And who's gonna wanna marry someone like that and then hope to have like an eighth with her, so you have one kid with her and the rest are not yours. I mean, it's a kindness if he does, but her attitude is what's amazing. Her attitude was just so mean, where you're like, she doesn't perceive her precarious position. She doesn't perceive you're actually the one, a beggar. You're actually the one who should be begging a good guy to be with you. Say, I'll cook for you, I'll clean for you, I'll do your laundry, I will, whatever. Like, whatever she has to say. Like, you need a husband, woman. But the left wing in America is moving more and more towards government dependency, and it's breeding these women to live off the government, shame men, and then at the same time want a man. And now everybody has to pay for her kids because she can't keep a man, and she has a bad attitude that no good man would want to deal with. So the bad attitude aspect of TikTok is like personified in this woman who doesn't even realize that she's on the downscale, and it's quite sad. So to the young youth, outlast the TikTok demons. Outlast them. Outlast them. Don't fall for their tricks. If you're on that app, try to be like not like them and avoid their pages. Their meanness is addicting to watch. You're like, wow, they're so mean. Like, why are they like this? Like, they must be so miserable. They must be on all these pills. They must hate their life. Like, they're addicted to being just brutal towards the opposite gender. And then you find out that they're also women who are cruel to each other. And you're like, wow, this app rewards them for how mean they can be. It's insane. And then they do a stupid dance, and it's like they're dancing to this stupid music while encouraging the worst behavior against men that'll literally keep more women alone and single on welfare. And then when they're like, 80 years old, they're going to die alone in an old folks home. It's like the ripple effect of this app on society is just amazing. And now I can totally understand why that app should have been banned. And that is definitely a tool of the Chinese Communist Party to undermine the morality and virtue of America. And they've done quite a fantastic job, which is quite sad. You don't think an empire can fall because of the moral degeneracy, but the liberals are proving that's possible every day. They hate religious people. They hate religious conservatives. And that behavior is personified in TikTok because if you're a righteous woman, those bitter women get angry and hateful and resentful and jealous and envious. It's just astounding. It's like all those mean women grouped together target anyone who doesn't want to join in their hate orgy. It's really astounding. So I think if you are a young one and you're hearing these pink-haired, blue-haired, long fingernailed, heavy makeup, plastic surgery creations, flexing their boobs on you and being like, and just really pushing you towards like a mental psychosis, break away from them and look at them in terms of pity and how you should not be. Don't let them pull you in. Don't let them pull you in and then you start to change your behavior, because a good man does not deserve that type of mental abuse, and a good woman doesn't act like that. And just because she's beautiful doesn't mean there won't be a man who can resist her. See, I think ugly ducklings, women, in terms like, we get intimidated and want to copy the pretty girls. And these pretty girls, because so many women are copying them, they become more crazy, and then they become like these rampaging, tyrannical queens who then lead these women to like, target that handsome knight, destroy the patriarchy, peg the patriarchy, rah! And they just like go insane in their own mind, and then they attack the women on the outskirts who are more in tune with God consciousness, more in tune with what Allah has ordained for them. They have accepted the nature of men, and they're like, hey, this is not really good. I don't really want you to talk to my brother like that. Why are you telling these young girls to act like that? you're the enemy, you hate women, you're a misogynist, attack, attack. And then all these crazy, like, cackling witches, they come after you, and you're like, what in the world? So it's amazing. So now, you young youth, be careful of copying the trends on TikTok. Don't be mean to men. It's not gonna work, fam. Don't do it. I've been beaten by men. I've been harmed so many times by men. But you will never, ever, 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 ever hear me hate men. Sometimes you can get mad. Like, why do men do this? Why do they do that? But it's a generalized, non-specific kind of complaint that is not born out of hatred, but concern. Right? But these women are a different breed of maliciousness. A different type of energy that is harmful to women as a whole because they thrive on hate, and they have this very like it's just like, oh geez, it's very scary. And it's gonna be interesting to see how these women in that generation, that type of mental mindset, age. How much debt are they gonna put on their credit cards to get plastic surgery to try to stay young, while women who don't hate men, who are happy to, have a family, who are happy to cook for their man, happy to make love to their man, who don't play psychological torture games with their man, are aging gracefully and have beautiful homes and, a good domestic environment. And these women are raging on their blogs, just chugging down the Adderall and Chardonnay and just dyeing their hair different colors every week. And just raging at all the men who didn't want them. And it's like you're going to see them just spin out. And you're going to be like, wow, I'm glad I wasn't on their team. So outlast them. Don't let the female sexuality override your rationality. Because that is like a sort of trick that Shaitan does, is that a woman has this kind of curved voluptuousness, and when it comes forward, you're like, oh, it's so much sex appeal, I don't know what to do. But if you stand strong and you're mentally aware of what is occurring, you sidestep them, and then they get more mad, because that's like their magical little power. Ooh, here's my boobies, I have power over you. You're just like, put your boobies away. Like, I don't care, get out of my way. So be stronger than that. Don't copy them. Well, Muslims are not supposed to copy the kuffar anyways. But I understand the practical addiction that the youth has to that app and the women on that app, and how that app is a subversion tool of society, of morality, and a mental wasteland. There's a lot of food stuff on there that's pretty cool. There's positive angles, I understand. But the women who clap back and who are very vicious towards men, and then they get people banned so easy on that app that it's like, wow. There's a lot of women who are men's rights activists who get very quickly banned on that app. So it's clear that the app supports women abusing men, but if you stick up for men, you get banned more, and those feminists will dox women. They'll spread lies and rumors about those women because they don't want the men to have allies. They want this sort of dystopian dildo matriarchy of cold witches and hills. And they get mad at anyone who points that out. They get mad at anyone who holds up a mirror and says, you have problems, stop being cruel to men. And this is not good for us. Good men don't deserve to be abused. So just remember, fam, don't fall into their trap. It's like a sticky spider web, and you're going to be for lunch. When they get bored of tearing at the men, they'll turn on you and, wrap you up and put you like a little web burrito and stick you on the wall, and you're just going to be this empty shell who's being vampirized by these horrific spider witches who don't have a sense of self, who lack a community, who lack masculine love in their lives, who lack masculine guardianship in their lives, and who are heavily medicated, and the prescriptions are creating all these types of side effects in their brains, and they have just so much going on. Don't let their mental illness change your righteous behavior. Be aware of it, acknowledge it, and have your little sword and shield and go into that app and, be brave, but be careful and outlast the TikTok demons.